Thanks, Steph. I don't know about everyone else, but if that doesn't get your juices going, nothing will. I mean, those last three presentations for me were just mind-blowing in relation to what the potential holds for the future in relation to a whole bunch of things. Jane Oakey's not online, but she's one of our people that's been working with that working group. And she's sick of me throwing her ideas and things that I keep throwing problems their way, because for me, it's not quite as simple as this, but HTS just provides so many opportunities for us to do things better than what we currently do. Look, as Steph said, a couple of things. One is the collaboration. So you're seeing national collaboration in this space, all coming out of that work that we started 3 years ago. We had a working group formed. We had CSIRO, SEBRA, who else do we have? We had, the universities involved, and they identified. We had the workshop in Brisbane, came up with these things. The Partners Forum identified the priorities. We took it to NBC, didn't go anywhere there, but jurisdictions, including Queensland, have taken these things on, and we've done it in partnership with Victoria in particular. But as you saw from Brendan's presentation, in that area anyway, there's a whole lot of people. The Commonwealth are doing amazing stuff at the border in collaboration with New Zealand once again. So we're seeing lots of collaboration there. I think we can learn a lot from Joel's presentation as well in terms of the sorts of things we're looking at. Decision making in real time when we're in a response is critically important. We all know that, and having the tools at hand, whether it be the Biosecurity Commons tool to actually enable us to be able to make decisions, but also having the information that sequencing actually provides to be able to know where something has come from, or if there's a link between what we found and some original source. So yeah, you can see this gets me going, and I just really like to thank the three presenters for doing not just for the presentations, but for the fantastic work that's being done in this space. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Malcolm. So as we're getting minutes closer to the end of this year's Queensland Biosecurity Partners Forum, but stick around because there's still a bit to come, we've asked Scott Spencer, Chair of the Biosecurity Queensland Ministerial Advisory Council, to rejoin us and reflect on what we've achieved over the past 2 days and the job for BQMAC now on how we advance the priorities that you guys have selected. Over to you, Scott.
Thanks. Firstly, a few thanks. Firstly, to your team and you in particular. You've done a marvellous job. I've heard a lot of people comment on that in the last couple of days. I've had first-hand knowledge to the fact that this program looked nothing like this 4 weeks ago, and you've done a magnificent job in turning it around. So thank you very much to you and your team. To the participants, thank you for your willingness to participate and to be frank and fulsome in your comments. And I hope you've also had the opportunity to also rub shoulders, even if electronically, with some members of BQMAC. Very interesting group. They are talented, passionate and committed, and it's actually quite humbling to be part of that group. So thank you to my colleagues on BQMAC. The last 3 days, to me, I suppose if I had to find one word, it's reassuring. Never quite sure whether, when we're dealing, as I said on Monday, dealing with such a big beast, as to whether we're making progress. I'm relatively comfortable that we are making good progress now. That some of the presentations have been a bit confronting. I think that those of you here on Monday and heard the case of the salmonella in New South Wales and how that brought a family-owned business to its knees. I guess that's why we're here. I guess that's why we're all committed to this cause. I thought like a number of people have commented, the presentation from Kirsty was terrific, not just because of the way she presented, but what she was saying. Partnerships are hard, but they are worth doing it. And more importantly, we had people beyond the normal consultation groups saying, we want to be part of this, the partnership wider than just the traditional groups. And I thought that was very encouraging. We saw the same sort of thing from our friends at Woolworths. And if you want to get the scale of the sorts of things we're dealing with, just the numbers that Woolworths put up to show what we're dealing with, what we have to confront and what keeps this country rolling, and why biosecurity is right in the middle of it. So to be passionate about it is the right thing to do because there's so much to lose. If you were to ask me about today, I share Malcolm's enthusiasm. There's a bit of a wow factor about it. And yes, as Malcolm said, look what we can do for the future, but some of this is happening now. One criticism, it's a bit hidden under the bushes, and I think all the partners who heard those presentations would be pretty excited to know that we are capable as a nation of doing these sorts of things, and all the presentations all included cross-border, even we did have a photograph of Jeanette Young where there was cross-border activity in there, and that was fantastic. And I also think that if Jeanette Young could get 95% in some third poll, she'd be very happy. I suppose the one that struck me the most about partnerships, which is really what this is about, was the presentation from Mick on the Torres Strait. I've worked a bit in the Torres Strait, and it's a beautiful part of this country. The people are lovely, and they are committed to their land and sea, and their land and sea is committed to them. The way we've worked with them in a remote area is a credit to those people involved, and it really again pushes this whole theme of partnership and the need to build trust. And I go back again to Kirsty's comments about it's hard. We're not always going to agree, and we need to be able to have those robust conversations when we don't agree and move on and find a solution that will work for everyone. So I was pretty impressed by the whole process, or as I say, reassured by the whole process. Now, we haven't got it right everywhere. There are still glitches in the system, and we'll trip over things as we go ahead. But we have now a process through the partnership of making sure that we're working together to try and deal with the problems that exist. So I would hope that we can have these forums, more particularly in face-to-face in the future, because there's a lot of those discussions over a cup of tea that we're all missing, and I think they're a critical part of the process. But this is the second best solution, and I think it's been a really useful process, and it's been very useful, I think, for BQMAC members to be able to participate and at least observe what's going on and to hear the various views that exist and the differences of opinion. That's completely legitimate, and we're enjoying it a lot. Now, Steph, I think we're going into a voting situation now, aren't we? Can you come back and tell me what now we're going to do? But as I understand it, the partnership has been, over the last meetings that it's had, has been voting on these key principles. And from a BQMAC point of view, we're really keen to see, do they stand up? Have we made progress in those areas? Are we marking time? Are there areas we need to work in? I'm a bit concerned that out of the workshop's going to become a very big workload for us, which we'll pass on to our friends at BQ, of course, but we'll at least oversee that. But I'm generally confident that the strategy's on the right track, and that's, as I said, extremely reassuring when we're providing advice to the government. I'll shut up.
Thanks, Scott. You've made a really good point. I'll just wait for you to mute yourself. There really is a lot of work to do now, isn't there? But isn't it exciting to see that this process, our Partners Forum and our partnership is working? We've seen that today, and we really need to celebrate. These were ideas that came up in a Partners Forum 3 years ago, and look how far they've come. The other message that's come through really strongly over the past few days has been the importance of government working in true partnership with industry, community and other stakeholders to advance our priorities, and it's a challenge that we have to deliver on. So as Scott said, it is now time for our partnership vote. We are going to say now farewell to our BQ and DAF colleagues. This is a partnership vote between our external partners, including our BLT members within BQ. So thanks for your contribution over the last few days, and we'll be definitely sharing the results of the partnership vote with you in the coming days. Malcolm, over to you for a bit of background on the partnership vote and to get us started.
Yeah, thanks, Steph. So at each of the annual forums, and this was established way back when the strategy was first developed, we do a poll to evaluate the partnership, how the partnership's performing within Queensland's biosecurity system. And that, for those of you who haven't been here since 2017, all partners voted on which were the 5 metrics that we should use to monitor our progress, and collectively decided on, as I've said, I think several times over the last 3 days, clarity of purpose and objectives, Partners demonstrate mutual trust and respect, clarity of roles and responsibilities, empowering people to take responsibility and act, and a partnership collaboration to achieve goals. As you can see on the screen now, we've made good progress over the years on advancing how we work together based on those 5 metrics. There we go. So we've got 3 years results there starting in 2017. So we didn't see a big change between 17 and 18, but then we saw a step up between 18 and 19, which was fantastic. And in particular, we saw some real movement in relation to mutual trust, collaboration, and empowering for responsibility, which is great. So just before we go to the vote, I'd encourage you to think about all of what you've heard over the last 3 days based on those 5 metrics, and share with us your view. It's with all of us because we all own this spider diagram on how we as a collective are advancing our partnership. Thanks everyone, and I'll hand back to Steph to start the vote.
Are you all coming back in? And thanks for sticking with us all the way to the end of this year's Partners Forum. We've got just a few minutes left and we're giving everyone an early mark today. Fantastic effort over the last couple of days. So we still got you coming back yet, Malcolm?
Rooms are closed, Steph.
We're all good to go. Excellent. Over to you, Malcolm.
Thanks, Steph. And thanks to all of you who are hanging in there and have hung in, most of you, for the 3 days. What we want to do now just quickly is ask you once again to give us a bit of a rating, if that's possible, on the Partners Forum, how it's run. This is obviously the first time we've done it virtually. There's been a whole lot of benefits associated with that, but research tells us that working in this format is very tiring. So it is really a testament to you all. So Steph should have just put that poll in the chat line. If you can click on that and give us a vote, 5 being excellent, 1 being pathetic. That would be great. Thank you. So while we're doing that, so where to from here? We'll be pulling all of the notes taken from the workshops, the results from the polls, and put them into a report for BQMAC. They're meeting, well, we're meeting, I'm a member of BQMAC, we're meeting late next week to discuss and agree on a way forward as a result of your feedback and the overall review work. We have now a package of all of the videos, materials generated this week, the presentations, and we'll pull all that together into an email which we'll share with you in the next few days as well. We'll also share a communique that'll go out from the BQMAC meeting. So what I want to do now, Steph, if you could share the results of the partnership poll.
Just coming through, Malcolm. So that should be on screen now, and I'll just start moving towards the results from today. There you go.
So there you go. We can see that things have moved a little, not a lot. You wouldn't expect us to see a huge movement. We've gone down a little bit in mutual trust, maybe not statistically significant, but then I'd have to say that the movement's up in empowers, responsibility and role clarity are probably not statistically significant either. However, it's really encouraging to see that things haven't gone dramatically bad. And if you look at the overall score, if you add up the totals across each of those areas and average them, in 2017 it was 3.01, 2018 was 3.06, 19 was 3.54, and this year is 3.73. So our average overall score has continued to go up. So I'll take that. We should all take that because it's all part of you know, our joint responsibility in terms of how this partnership works. So we all contribute towards it. So thank you for everyone once again for hanging in there. Look, before we go, I really want to thank Scott Spencer and the members of BQMAC. a lot of them are on the screen now, and they have hung in right throughout, and that's been fantastic. And I look forward to continuing to work with you going forward in relation to looking at the strategy, its future, how we continue to work together with industry community, and how we can make this an even stronger partnership going into the future. I really want to thank the team that pulled all this together, headed up by Steph. She is a force of nature, there's no question about that. She's been absolutely amazing over the last, it's been a couple of months where she's been working on this almost non-stop. As I said earlier, Steph's got a day job. She's doing this in addition to that. And I really think she's done a fantastic job with the other team members, Carly and Sonia, who have really stepped up and helped out as well. We've done this ourselves. This has been something, obviously the technology's let us down a couple of times, but we've not bought a consultant or a contractor in or whatever to do this. It's just been run out of BQ. So it's an enormous effort, and really, really proud of the team and what they've been managed to do. Matt Kerr as well, part of our design team. Thank you to all the people who participated as workshop facilitators and note takers over the past 3 days. To all the presenters have been amazing. I've been to every Biosecurity Partners Forum I think that's been run, and my humble view is that this year's presenters were outstanding. And I thank you all, as I said earlier, in relation to the diversity, the honesty, I think is really important in a partnership. So thank you for that. And once again, to all of you for being here, to participating in the conversations we've had in the workshops, and to helping deliver the midterm review of the strategy. It's really, really valuable, and I hope you felt as though you've got something out of it as well. And look forward to continuing our partnership going into the future. Thanks, everyone.
So that's it. The 2021 Queensland Biosecurity Partners Forum is officially over. I look forward to seeing you next year. Thanks, everyone.
Lovely. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.